How do I create boundaries in a relationship? Good question. So when I was doing my coaching training, we had a whole section on creating boundaries. I found it very interesting that everybody was very much leaning into this conversation, like, okay, how do I set boundaries? How do I set boundaries? And I was just kind of like, not interested in this topic. So we started to get into the discussion, and our coach that was teaching us shared a story about a time that she was in a restaurant and she got up to go to the bathroom and she came back and her friend was rummaging through her purse. So she sits down and the friend says, "Oh, I hope you don't mind. I was just looking for a Kleenex," or I don't know, something very benign. But this teacher was sharing that it really bothered her that she was up walking away in the bathroom and here her friend was rummaging through her purse. And I thought to myself, that's odd. Why would anybody care about that? So I said that. Why would anybody care about that? And she said, okay, we're going to start with you. And so I became the lesson of the day in how to create boundaries. So let's talk a little bit about that. Why are boundaries important? Well, if you don't know where your boundaries are, then really anybody can do anything in your presence. And it's okay because you're not creating any boundaries. They can treat you a certain way. They can take your resources. They can sap your energy. Not cool. But it's not about them, it's about you. So let's talk about how to know if your boundaries are being encroached on. Do you work too much? Do you feel like you're the friend that's like always helping everybody out? Is everybody always at your house on the weekends? Eating all your food? Making a mess? Let's see. Have you ever gone to the bathroom in a restaurant and come back and somebody's rummaging through your purse? All those would be examples of not having clear and strong boundaries. And what I mean by boundary is around your energy, okay? So giving to people all day long is not a good thing for your energy. It's not a good thing for your resources. It's just not an overall good practice to keep up. In fact, it's near impossible to keep up. Sharing your time, treasure, and talents with work or family or friends or your community even is an absolutely great thing. Just when it's out of whack, then so are you. So within reason, it's okay to share yourself, but make sure that it's really of your own doing. So step one, how to say no. That's a big one, right? We all feel roped into doing so many things. I don't know about you, but during COVID, I've really loved being able to not have to say no because nobody can go anywhere. But even before that, I was somebody who would say no because I get tired pretty early these days and I like to go to bed. I like to read a book, I like to cozy up and prep for my next day. Another area of boundary encroachment, I would say, is when somebody does something in your presence that is just not okay with you, whether it be bad language or treating you in a certain way or being really overbearing in some way, whatever it is for you that you just don't have a tolerance for in your space, it's okay to say, listen, I noticed that there's this thing and I just really would request that you don't do that in front of me, or otherwise I can't insert whatever, date you, work with you, what have you. Now, a lot of times people have a hard time with this one because they don't want to lose the relationship or they don't want to make their boss mad, for example. But it's so important to really hold that line, those boundaries, because if you don't do it for yourself, who's going to do it for you? And trust me, after years of having my boundaries just encroached on, I didn't even know anymore. I didn't know that it was probably not okay to have somebody rummage through my purse if I got up and left the room. So I hope you've reached some conclusion about drawing the line in the sand, but make sure that that line goes all the way around you and that it holds out anything that you don't want in your space. Now, this may sound funny, but creating boundaries is not just to help you. It's also about teaching other people about how to read the room or what's appropriate and what's not. Telling others when a boundary has been crossed could maybe bring somebody out of, my favorite word, a blind spot that maybe they don't understand. Maybe they don't know that something is inappropriate, or of course they can't read minds. They don't know that you don't like a certain kind of behavior that may seem innocuous to them. So share the boundary setting with the world, because in doing so, you elevate everybody around you. And also because the kids are watching. This is a very important lesson for kids to learn. So let us know how it goes and share your stories in the comments below. If you have a fire in your belly and you know that there's a better way to do things, then you're gonna love this. I have a free and very fun diagnostic tool that will help you discover where you can harness your power. If you've watched any of the other videos in this series on Michelle's channel, then you may have heard me talking about the 7 areas in one's life or in organizations where you can leak or harness power. This diagnostic tool will help you to know if you are in your highest flow. It's an easy tool that you'll get a lot of benefit from, and you can use over and over again. So head to the link down below to get calibrating. It has been a pleasure being here on Michelle's channel. She's the epitome of a great mentor and coach. So I hope you have enjoyed our time together. I know I certainly have. Good luck.